Hey, welcome back to the Challenge Fandom Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, we're just getting here.
Hi, my name's Rick. This is my beautiful wife, Corrina Hayes. Then we've got Katie, Bad Blood Pahura, Josh, motherfucking Chambers, Alexis, Tex, Rawson, and then, of course, Tony, Stats, and Infoland.
Yes, we got a full house this week.
Yes, we
Full
do.
house.
And it
Illness
feels
be damned.
so good.
I don't think we've ever not had a full house for a final.
No, usually we overpack it.
Like final episode.
I feel like we have to be here for it.
It's important.
Yeah.
We have to ridicule every bad mistake production has done.
Oh, this is going to be long.
That's what we do here.
It's what we do best. I'm
3
just saying.
hours.
You know what you tune in for. So, we're here to recap episode 19, The End of an Era, part 2, the final part of the final of Challenge 40, the final finalist, the final 4.
It's the final countdown.
Anyways,
I was so jealous of missing all of the singing last week.
it was a lot of
We
fun.
missed you.
You didn't hear me?
Oh, I heard you. I
Oh,
was
okay.
sad I couldn't join in.
Fuck, I put that shit on my bows.
Right.
It was glorious.
So good. We'll just start our own band. Fuck the podcast. We're going to start a band.
We're going to live in a commune.
We'll get tens of dollars.
A commune?
Tens of dollars. Yeah.
Alexis, like, wait, what?
A commune. Yeah.
Count me in.
I don't know where, but
Wherever.
Here, I'll give you good reasons why with a presentation.
We need a PowerPoint.
Allow me to explain.
yeah, I'm ready for that.
That can be some content that Alexis gives us.
Right?
For the
A
Instagram.
PowerPoint on why you should all move to Indiana.
Yeah. It's going to be a PowerPoint in the middle, and then it's just going to be surrounded by a balloon arch.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I love it.
This is going to be my new balloon room, so we'll be seeing probably more.
Ooh, I love it.
Are you filling it with balloons?
She's going to go like features and benefits. And one of the benefits is balloon arches whenever you want.
Magic.
And she'll borrow our soundboard.
I mean, you've got enough birthday parties. You're going to need them.
Yes.
True.
Ain't that the truth?
Fact.
Okay, so before we break into this episode, I think it's always important to be as transparent as we can with our audience and let you guys know that we're going to be making some changes to the way we handle Challenge All-Stars 5 or / Rivals. We're not going to... We're not...
Rivals. Oh,
Fivel.
Rivals.
Goes west.
Goes west.
Yes. We're not going to be doing weekly recaps. Look, we love the challenge and we love breaking down these episodes. We love meeting with each other. And the fact that some people actually enjoy listening to us is phenomenal. And I know it's kind of shitty that we're going to dial it back, but when it was only 2 seasons a year, it was really manageable. But now they're giving us like 2 weeks in between seasons. And look,
Running them for, 19 weeks.
yeah, and we're all grown-ass adults with jobs and kids and businesses to run. So we are going to take some much-needed R&R. With that being said, we've got a whole litany of interviews getting ready to come out.
Yep.
In fact, we're going to be dropping Corey Wharton shortly after you hear this episode. Keep your eyes peeled. That's coming out soon.
Yep.
And it was a great episode. Gave us some tea.
He was so awesome.
Let us know what some of his future plans are with 41. So stay tuned on that one. And we've got another set of
We've got a
interviews coming up.
bunch.
Yeah, we're looking at a lot of returning guests, maybe some new guests.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
And on top of that, we're not going to necessarily not be recapping the season at all. We will still be putting out some recaps. It's just not going to be every single week.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be doing some different types of content. So, if you're not following us on social media like Instagram and YouTube, make sure you guys are following us there.
Subscribe.
Subscribe on YouTube.
smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Smash it.
Smash it. Smash his head and eat it.
Need it.
Did you say sneed it?
No, smash
Sneed.
his head and eat it. That was just my Rochester accent.
I like it. All right.
So it's not like we're not going to be putting anything out. It's not like we're going to just, disappear off the face of the earth for All Stars 5, but it's just going to be a little different. And we just wanted to give all you guys, a little heads up on it. So,
and look, we're always open to suggestions. So if there's certain content that you want to see us put out or do more of, hit us up on Instagram and let us know.
Yeah.
We're always open to stuff you guys want to see, and if it's fun and we deem it acceptable, then we'll definitely do that. If we deem it unacceptable, check out our OnlyFans.
That's what we're really taking more time to do this year.
Look, you can see why I would have been the extra member of Bananas Angels feet.
Oh my God.
I'm joking.
Rick, I have seen your feet and we've met once, so
I would agree. Sorry for that too.
Look, did you guys see on Bananas? He was interviewing all of the angels, and they all did like a little foot high five at the end. It's like, guys, this is getting too much.
Did you see? Did you see Rachel's winner post?
Yeah, because you thrust it upon us in the group chat.
Oh, okay, then.
The one with the kids or the one by herself?
The one by herself where she's showing off her feet for Bananas.
Oh, I didn't even realize that's what it was.
Read the caption she wrote.
Right, hold on. Right here.
It'll be right here.
Katie was like, yeah, I definitely saw it, but I didn't realize that. Look at the caption, Katie.
Oh, I didn't read the caption.
Yeah.
Once you read the caption, it's
you're like, oh my God.
A few moments later.
Just feel like if we ever interview Bananas, someone's going to have to send him a feet picture as a thank you.
Something.
That someone's not Tony.
It can't be me. As much as I want it to be me, guys, it can't be me.
I'll Photoshop your toe.
I got Tori toes, so...
Photoshop or Footershop?
Anyway, so we wanted to tell you guys about that, give you the heads up. So things are going to be changing a little bit. Like Corrina said, we'll probably be recapping every 3 episodes or so.
2 to 3, just depending on what happens. If not a lot happens, then we'll follow us on Instagram, follow us, subscribe. I keep saying follow. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. We will be putting out, updates and keeping everybody updated as we kind of find our way through All Stars 5.
Do the thing where you subscribe and it gives you notifications. Look, I know sometimes they're annoying, but even podcasts that are not mine, I like getting notified when there's a new episode because I want to listen to that shit.
Heck yeah. It's like a little gift because you never know when it's coming. So all of a sudden, you just get this beautiful little notification on your phone and your day's just better.
Yeah.
Just magic.
People are thinking about me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we are thinking about you.
Always.
Art hands.
Tony.
What?
Tony.
No,
You're the only one who didn't do it.
No, Rick didn't do it. Rick said it. Rick said it.
I had mine with Corrina. They had mine together. They didn't do it. I did. Come on, follow along.
Let's try again.
See,
there we go. There we go.
See, but mine didn't.
Bam. Magic. See?
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to outshine everyone else. But then Katie made me do it.
Tony doesn't want to spotlight, but he'll take that shit. All right.
Oh my God.
Bravo. Job well done, sir.
I don't need that kind of heat.
So, for the real reason you guys are hopefully here.
I killed Katie. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Let's give her a second. She'll be all right.
No, she doesn't want a second.
She's going to come back sound like a 70-year-old woman named Dolores.
Raz, it's Raz.
Dolores. I am here to say that your microphone muted for the first time ever.
It's because I figured it out.
Yeah. I also figured mine out while you guys were gone.
Oh, yours is it's really short.
Short?
It looks short.
Look,
hold it up again.
Not the size, it's how you use it.
I would say it's not
Try getting across the ocean in a canoe.
That's not how she uses
it.
Look, all right, motion in the ocean.
Oh my God.
This is why we can't all be on here at the same time every day, every week.
This is why nobody's going to miss us when we only do it once every 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're not going to be cared.
We're really just hooligans messing around on microphone.
I thought of something I had to tell you too, but I'll remember for after.
Okay, that's fair.
I can't be putting it out here for the world.
Well, now I need to know.
Okay, well, Gary was shirt dicking it today. I was dead on the couch watching TV, and all of a sudden he comes down from the shower. He's like, "I ain't got no clean underwear upstairs."
I think about shirt dicking it often, to be honest with you.
And I said, "Oh, I'm telling everyone tonight."
Good old Winnie the Pooh in it.
I love
Hilarious.
it. That's awesome.
That's the only thing I know about your husband.
Like, I hope that's on his LinkedIn profile.
Right.
He doesn't have one, but if he did, I'd put it on there.
Yeah.
Professional shirt dicker.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next trip.
Oh my god.
If he ever came on the podcast, that's his fucking nickname.
We'll just surprise him with
He
it.
doesn't even do it that much, but it's just
Enough for you to tell us.
Oh my god.
Basically who he is to us.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Challenge Fandom Podcast, where we talk about everything.
If Alexis was not a married woman with a child, her nickname would be Piss in a Field.
sometimes it is.
It's
Sometimes,
okay.
if I'm feeling saucy, it is.
Yeah, it's fine. My kid pisses outside already, too.
That's right.
Anyways, all right.
Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Fresh start.
Back to the challenge.
So, yeah, episode 19, the end of an era, part 2. Look, last time to do it, come up with a different goddamn title.
Maybe
Part
next
one.
season.
Part 2.
Stupid.
Season.
Get rich or die trying.
I would have taken it.
Oh my god.
It would have worked. It would have worked.
It would have.
It would have.
Or, die trying to get rich. Something. Maybe
Something.
just switch up the words a little bit. I don't know.
Die swimming to get rich.
Yeah. Sink or swim. You know what I mean?
Sink or swim.
Dive deep for the buried treasure. I don't know.
Boat or float.
Swim for your booty.
I like that one.
That's pretty good, honestly. I give that one
That pirate booty. Arr.
Okay, so 30,000 foot view real quick. I'm going to ask this about the whole final. What's your guys' overall grade on this final?
Second place for Michelle.
That's not how grades work, but thank you. That's more like a comment on the bottom of the grades.
Oh my gosh. So in part 1, part 2, the whole we're grading the whole thing.
Yeah, this is the last episode for season 40.
As a whole.
With a W or an H?
I'm lost.
She said as a whole.
Oh,
I was like, I don't get it. It was lost on me.
you made my whole week.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to grade this because am I just grading the final or am I including
Right.
the outcome? Or, you know what I mean? I don't know how to grade this.
Okay.
We need a whole chart on how to grade this, okay? We need a sliding scale.
Yeah. If I'm grading through checkpoint 7, I'd give this probably a B overall.
Okay. All right.
If I'm including checkpoint 8 and 9, that grade drops significantly.
To what?
Like a D.
So weighted average is a C overall. Once you factor both of them in, or you're saying,
I guess a C altogether.
or are you saying 8 and 9 is so bad it drops the average to a D? Okay.
C minus ish. Yeah. B,
Okay.
C minus D. Yeah.
I would probably give it an open C. Maybe it goes down. Thank you, Josh.
I was going to say, I've never heard of an open sea. I don't.
There was a lot of swimming.
I get it now.
That's funny.
I understand.
We just talked about my swim day in the open sea in the Navy a couple weeks ago.
Yes, the sea.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I apologize. I failed you.
That's fine.
So, all right. Tony's going with a C.
I'm going with C, too.
What do you got, Katie?
I'm sorry. This is tough.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Like the Bills' chances of winning this weekend.
Whoa.
Josh Allen can do anything.
Oh, damn it. I'm sorry. I said I would stop.
Don't say that.
Josh is going to talk all this shit and then what
And then we're going to win.
happen after fucking the Bills win.
You
just freaking bananas me.
Yep. Anyways, so Katie, let's throw a grade out there. What you got?
Anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted, I'm going B minus because I'm not going to lie. I know I'm going to bitch about how much swimming there was, but I actually liked it. Like I liked the swimming. Maybe it didn't have to be so far distances. We'll get there, but I did like it.
Okay.
So maybe a B minus is too much, but I feel like a C is too low.
So C plus.
But yes, C plus.
Plus. It's like a B. So whatever.
It's like a B minus.
Yeah.
So
All
maybe
right.
just a solid B minus.
All right. Josh, what do you got?
Okay, so pre-karma points. I'm gonna do this, break it down just like my high mind sister over there. The swimming, come on, man. We know the swimming in the thing has been a huge thing in the past. Some people can swim, some people can't. It was going to be a factor. However, it was pretty fucking hard. So I give that like a B plus. This show has always been a popularity contest, and now they made it even count double time. I didn't like that at all. So I give that like a D minus. So
Okay.
So a C.
So a C. All right.
yeah. C.
Alexis, what do you got?
I'm also going straight in the middle with C. There were things I liked, but then they just kind of like did things I didn't like at the end.
I agree. So like I think we're all kind of on the same wavelength here, which
Wavelength.
Honey.
yeah, see what I did there? Look, if I'm breaking this down like you did before we get to the karma points, so those last two checkpoints that are just made up, make believe.
Those fake ones, yeah.
I'm giving this final a B plus, almost an A minus, because to me, this is probably the hardest final we've seen since War of the Worlds was.
Mm-hmm.
Because that amount of swimming will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And that's all they did for 2 days, sleep deprived, and I didn't see them eat once.
Yeah.
No, was it Kyland? Kyland was on Banana's podcast, and he said I don't remember if it had to be the overnight. All they got was a banana leaf with white rice, like a cup of white rice, and a Gatorade. And then in the morning, all they got was unsalted cashews.
Jesus.
Like, and poor fucking Tori, like, we'll get there, but if she had a different elimination, I feel like this final would be very different. But
Sam mentioned something that he heard, that there was such little food that I think Jenny ate a tube of toothpaste.
Oh my God.
That you should call.
we're going to need to put this on the pin board to ask her about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you should contact Poison Control after a lot of fluoride.
Wow.
Unless it was organic, then who knows? But
so in that situation, I give it like an A minus. It was a great final.
Mhm.
Maybe not the most entertaining because of the swimming, and that's why I'm not giving it an A plus, because you can only watch so much swimming, and then it gets kind of boring. But the karma points fuck this. So it's getting like a low F on this. The carbon points, it's getting probably like a 40% for me. So it gets down to like a D, because they changed the structure of this game. And that's something Corrina brought my attention to earlier, and I'll let her explain it a little bit later. But that's why my grade's so low.
Yeah.
Okay, getting into this. Pick up where the last episode left off, which was the overnight where they have to count the coins for 30 minutes, then go sing the same song over and over for 30 minutes, and then go back to count the coins. Basically,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Basically, whoever gets closest to whatever the total amount of coins is in the count wins the checkpoint, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so here's my question. I originally, I'm so sorry. Pre-apology for that. It's going to happen a lot this episode. I am very sorry. But originally when...
Push down. Thank you.
Oh, there we go.
Something right in front of your mouth.
Ooh, hello there. Okay.
Save it for the OnlyFans.
Okay, so originally when, on last week's episode, when they started this checkpoint with counting the coins and doing the singing, I thought that the coins were like money and the different sizes had different values and that they were counting to like an amount, like a money
Jesus
amount.
Christ,
That's what I thought. And so when I saw, so they weren't doing that, right? They were just counting the actual,
just counting the number of the quantity of the coins.
Yes.
So why were they different sizes and stuff then?
To fuck with them.
I was just thinking they probably couldn't find that many coins of all one size. Like, imagine if they had 6,000 pennies for every single person.
Right.
Yeah. One of the things, I think it was Tori that said it, and it was in the midst of everyone counting, when everyone was sort of complaining, she had said that because they're different sizes, sometimes you get two stuck together, where it's like a smaller one that sticks to one of the larger coins, that they both go in at the same time, and then you can lose count that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So I want to just say this because I see it in your notes and how disappointed I am. What happened to the meltdown?
That's the first thing I said too.
I thought Jordan was going to go off on Jenny.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's classic Jordan. I was waiting for it to happen.
Literally.
Did it happen and they just cut it, or was it just his shut the fuck up or whatever he said and that was it?
No, because even in the next time on it, they showed they showed more footage of it in the next time on, and that's why I was so excited. I was like, dude, we get a Jordan blow up, we haven't seen one of these in a minute, and I'm excited. I love Jordan's blow ups. God.
3:28 a.m.
Yeah, so they definitely cut it. It happened, and they previewed it to us and then cut it. Just like the, Tina fighting with Banana.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just stupid.
Yeah, it's just a tease. And teases are okay sometimes, but on TV shows, when they don't come true, it's not good.
Yeah.
No, that's why I keep thinking, I'm like, the preview for All Stars 5 looks really good. But are we going to see any of that footage?
Right. Here's my thing. I thought it was really fucking funny that Jenny just completely quit on this and still didn't come in dead last.
I know. You just guessed. She was like, fuck this. Put her coins in and was like, I'm just going to, estimate. And she ended up getting third.
I understand.
Power to her, though, too. When she bowed out, it was 136.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Everybody, I think Tori was still there at 4:30.
Yeah. 4:29 was when she stopped.
And I think the other one that I noticed was Derek was 3:30.
I think he was. I think he was around 3 or 3:30 or something like that. Rachel was around 2:30, 2:45. Yeah. We didn't. I don't even know if we saw the time when Michelle was done and I didn't write all those down, but
no, I didn't.
It struck me as a little odd. However, then it also becomes Jenny came in first in almost all the all the checkpoints on day one. So it's it could have came down to her weighing her options here. Can I afford to just, take a different placement for this checkpoint and get some sleep and some rest so that I can, do really good tomorrow? Because we're still out on the fucking water. So more than likely we're going to be swimming more,
That decision might have cost her $168,000.
Could have.
You know what I mean?
Oh, she was probably pissed about her hair.
That's what I wanted to lead into is what the fuck was going on with her hair, Katie?
I can tell you. So I also do not have the exact example I'd like to give you guys, but I did dig out some of my old extensions for some show and tell for us.
Nice.
To explain to you all what happened. So I'm guessing that Jesse, who's Jesse?
Jenny. Girl.
I only know Jesse's girl.
I was Jesse's girl. Okay. Anywho, I'm pretty sure that Jenny wears some form of beaded row extension, which is they use hand-tied extensions. So
I thought so.
I figured you'd know.
I use them all the time.
This is what they're supposed to look like. This is a very old set. I saved them in case I need them for practice.
Or ZZ Top comes by.
Can I use that on my face?
Yeah, probably you can have a beard.
I could look Amish.
I am Santa.
Oh my gosh.
Because in it?
So, but this, if you go swimming, if you're swimming in the water, especially chlorine, salt water, whatever, you need to contain your hair extensions. Otherwise, they will get matted and they will get fucked up and there is no saving them.
Oh.
So I did some just like back combing to another row so you guys can see. This isn't even close to what happened to hers or the example that I have at the salon for you. But they then turn into this.
Ooh.
So this is what you saw.
Gotcha.
Is you saw her, and then even when she pulled it back, it was just like there was no say.
It's getting wet and dry and wet and dry. No brush.
And not being able to brush it out. There was with the salt water, like just
And it wasn't like she was there for 20 minutes. She was probably out in that water for probably 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
if not more.
No, my little hairdresser as soon as I learned that she was wearing extensions, I was like, oh no.
No wonder she was so pissed off too, because they're not cheap, and I would have
cheap.
been too.
I wonder if she pulled them out and then had a funeral.
She probably did.
This is part off topic, but I have to ask you now, when you watched 38 Ride or Dies?
Yeah.
When they showed Tori in the final on day 2 and her hair was like straight and perfect and shiny, were you super impressed?
I was.
Yes.
She has great hair.
She had a moment like that this season too, where
on this final, when she's sitting there singing, I'm like, she looks, look at her. She's perfect.
I'm sorry,
go
really
ahead.
quick. Tori, because you brought up Tori singing on the, alone on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Did it kind of creeped me out a little bit, like when they
was creepy.
Echo over the ocean. It totally gave me Hunger Game vibes when
Pirates of the Caribbean, something.
It's echoing through I was like, nah, this is
Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is too fucking creepy. I was like, nah, that's where I would start to get creeped out in the middle of the night like that alone. Hell, no.
During all this, the funniest thing that I thought was Bananas finished counting, but the timer had already gone off.
Oh my god!
He's like, just let me tell you.
I know there's 10.
You gotta go sing.
I
was like,
I will top that with Jenny being the one who completed it first, threw everything in, just said fuck it, went up, went to bed, or tried to, and then couldn't because everyone else was still singing.
Yeah, that. I mean, obviously, where's she gonna go? But they're like, yeah, go to sleep, and then everyone's gonna come up there and bother you every 30 minutes.
I'd be fine. I'd sleep through the whole thing.
I would too.
Yeah.
I can't.
But all right. So the way this ends up breaking down is Derek gets first place and finally gets one on Jordan.
Yes.
Once again, the dark horse. He was only 118 off. I think there was 6,000 total coins.
Yeah. Something like that. I don't know.
Rachel got first for the women. She was only 58 off. So that's super fucking
Whoa.
impressive.
Yeah.
Like that's a really accurate count.
Yeah.
Jordan came in second, was 182 off. Michelle came in second for the women with 90 off. Kylan came in third, off by about 300. Jenny was in. She only missed count by 97 fucking coins.
Like how? That's nuts.
Wild.
She guessed.
Tori worked at it for 4 more hours and was off by 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
We also saw that Jenny wasn't singing like everybody else was either.
No.
She was keeping that count in her head.
Bananas came in fourth for the men, was 310 off.
Yeah.
So it was, it helped certain people, and it really. This was one that kind of, I think, in my opinion, tanked Tori's opportunity at anything but fourth.
Yeah.
You know, this was the one she needed.
This was a really tough one.
Yeah, she needed to get third on that. And you could see that before they started the next day. They ended up getting probably about 4 or 5 hours rest and had to start up the second day, which was Submerging Terror was the next checkpoint. Basically, they had to swim to this raft, hop up on it, read the instructions, then swim into this cove, which by far the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen on the show.
Yes. Pretty.
Like the water literally looked like a mix between the balloons behind Alexa.
That's where I got inspired from.
It was gorgeous. And that shot of Jordan coming up was a great fucking shot. They usually get about 2 or 3 every season, and this was one of them.
Yeah. Also, lovely.
What the hell happened to his shirt?
Did he get attacked by a shark?
Same.
Probably.
I was wondering.
They're in open water. Stained.
It could have been.
Yeah. There's tiger shark. Just saying. So they have to go swim into this cove, grab a fucking paddle, swim back, then dive under, unlock a key to unlock a boat so they
take the boat back to the ship.
Sinister, yeah. So
Sinister. Sorry, I have to say it like that.
Sorry, that felt right. So, dude, props to fucking Tori. Like you said, she does a 2.5 hour elimination, comes out, does the full final, is the last one to go to sleep, and then turns around and fucking kills this one.
It's so fucking good. I was super happy to see her do this. And this was when I was like, man, like I was really hoping, first of all, that she could come in first and all the rest of the checkpoints, because that would have severely given her a chance to at least move out fourth. But it was really cool to see her like be able to beat majority of the girls after, like you said, being the one that was up the latest, one that did the elimination right before, so that was really cool. I do want to talk about something that you brought up to me shortly before we started recording that I was actually completely unaware of.
I've seen on a couple of posts out there.
At a couple of points in this checkpoint, like for example, when they all very first get to the raft, Jenny is having a lot of trouble getting up onto the raft, and Michelle kind of helps her, and they use a thing, whatever. And then when they're coming back to get their keys, once they get their keys, Michelle struggles to get back up on the raft, as does Rachel, and Kylan helps both of them. Now, there are fans that are saying that the girls should have been DQ'd because they got help.
No.
What?
No.
For what?
Yeah.
Help getting on the raft? It's not like he helped them fucking paddle the boat.
So does Michelle also get DQ'd for telling Jenny to hold on to the flagpole?
Literally.
Or like mentioning the puzzle pieces from last episode, like how they're different, or like little tips.
Yeah. Or I forget who did it, but someone was like, "Oh, it's a black coin down there under the water when they go into the cove."
Yeah.
I mean,
instant DQ.
Yeah,
don't tell people shit.
Dude, people help people all the time. It's just part of this.
People literally copy off other people in finals and don't get DQ'd.
Yeah.
So like, I just.
It's the challenge.
They just want there to be a rule that you can't help people so bad.
Yeah. Well, I think Michelle and Rachel might still be in the water if that were the case.
It's hard to get out of the water onto things like that.
It is.
Yeah. It's super difficult. I would struggle at it.
Well, and they're all tired. You know what I mean? They've been swimming for fucking ever. So like I don't hold it against anyone that can get up there, but it just blew my mind when Rick was like, yeah, I've been seeing people say like, why weren't the girls DQ'd for getting help? I'm like, when have people ever been DQ'd for getting help in a final, like from each other? And the thing is like, that's part of your strategy, right? Like, who are you going to help somebody, or are you going to mislead them, or are you going to ignore them? Like, that's part of your choice, because if you help somebody, it could negatively affect you. It could end up beating you or whatever, so. Which, I mean, Michelle helped Jenny up, helped her, teach her how to get up onto the platform, and Jenny beat her.
If that's the case, if that's what we're doing, you just eliminated 50% of the fucking final. Because you're getting rid of Jenny, Michelle, Rachel, and Kylan.
Yeah.
And Jordan as well, because Jordan did tell him that it was speed math when he was going back to the Sinister.
And then who gets disqualified? Because Derek didn't ask him, but now Derek got help. Derek was the one who helped.
Derek slowed down and didn't answer the math question.
Yeah, so he's out too.
Yeah, like
Tori's the winner. Yeah. We've justified it.
From what I understood anyway, is that it wasn't necessarily people saying that the girls should be disqualified. It was why wasn't Michelle disqualified? Like people are just using any fucking excuse they can to try to discredit Michelle's run on this final, and it's pissing me off.
Because she's a badass.
Yeah.
Like y'all are just haters, man.
They got that PhD, player haters degree.
Literally. And poor Michelle, man, like she freaking loses her oar on the way back, and then she like almost loses the boat and just, but at the same time, she stays in good spirits. Like she panicked a little bit when she was struggling to get up onto the platform, but like she still stayed in good spirits. She wasn't, crying and upset when she finally got back to Sinister. She was like, shit. I lost my oar. Fuck.
We did. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
Mine's gonna be quick. We really didn't get a Michelle down.
No.
At all.
No, not really. No.
So go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say one of the things that stands out to me that puts Michelle in an even better light and puts her on an even higher pedestal for me is all throughout the final, both days, she was encouraging everyone else.
Yeah.
When Tori was getting discouraged with the coins, she was pumping her back up.
Yeah.
When Jenny couldn't get up on the platform, she was helping her up. Like, there was not a point that Michelle was putting anyone down, even against Bananas with the math. She apologized and said, good luck, and went back. Like, that is a testament to who Michelle is as a player and as a person. And I think that speaks absolute volumes.
100%.
Agreed. Yeah.
Look, getting into the way this checkpoint ends, because I think that really explains a lot about my feelings on Michelle in general in this. I think she plays a really solid game, but she's a good person in this game too. That goes into a deeper conversation that we'll have a little bit later. But so the way this checkpoint rounds out is, surprise, surprise, Jordan and Jenny get first.
Shocker.
What?
Second is Derek and Tori. Right here, I go, Tori, goddamn it, if you would have got second or third in that overnight, you have a real chance of still coming in like at least second.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rachel, Bananas in third, and then Kylan and Michelle in fourth. And this is the one that kind of was the straw that would have broke Michelle's winning.
Yeah.
Right? You have the straw that breaks the camel's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but look, I'm going to give it to her because she did not let it get to her. She still came out to these next two checkpoints and really, really pushed it hard. And
the next one though. I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
First of all, can we talk about how did you guys feel about this checkpoint mathematical leisure?
I didn't care. Like, it was fine.
It was fine. It was a change of pace. Yeah.
It was quick. Like, there wasn't a lot of thought to it. You went, you did the thing. If you were the one that didn't get it right, you stayed. It reminded me of when Tony was just like standing around waiting in the final, waiting for somebody else to come up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually do the game with
on
him.
like vendettas or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they really wanted was like someone to come in first or second and get stuck all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Make it like a dynamic change, which didn't happen.
They did. I guess the better way for me to ask the question is, how did you guys feel about there not being an eating portion? Because obviously this would have been the setting for an eating portion in the final. How did you guys feel about there not being one? Like, did you miss it or do you just not care?
I didn't care.
It was weird not having it, but I'm not going to lie. I actually didn't care as much as I thought. At first, I was like, wait a minute, where is it? But then thinking about it, that would have been evil.
Yeah.
Like, that... Ooh.
You could have had someone drowned.
Literally, yeah. So I wonder if that's why. Instead, they did get real coconut water.
Which was hilarious because nobody trusted it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm okay with it. They've gone so heavy on the eating over the last couple of finals that like it didn't bother me. And I really do think it was a safety thing that them swimming in open water with a stomach full of shit that you've been puking up is not a good idea.
They'd have to wait 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's illegal.
Well, and, I mean,
die.
and they had eating challenges through the season, which they don't normally have. So, I honestly, like, I didn't miss it. It wasn't something that I was like, hey, wait a minute, where's the eating chat? Like, I'm not naturally a big fan of them. I see why the challenge does it, because it's just kind of one of those like separator type things. That's just something either you can stomach it or you fucking can't. There's no like middle ground there.
Mm-hmm.
But it also wasn't something that I was like disappointed to not see in the final. So
I understand that it's like an integral part of the challenge, like of the past, but at the same time, like whether or not you can eat weird shit is about as much of a testament of how you can do in a final as like, I don't know, like who likes who best and have that be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, like it doesn't show what you can do.
Yeah, agreed. And here's my thing. I actually kind of like this checkpoint overall. I enjoyed it more than I would seeing them eat some shit and throw up.
Yeah, I agree.
It was at least it was halfway entertaining watching Banana's face when Kylan walked up and realizing he was going to get last.
Poor Michelle, man. She just kept
what the fuck?
Everybody was just so quick, and like I barely had time to read the freaking map on the screen before like fucking Derek or Jordan or whoever was answering. I was like, I'm with you, girl.
I would have been.
I feel your pain.
Look, I think Derek did the right thing. You can't give up on the final to help a friend.
No,
and he tried. He waited. And he did the like look at.
He tried to whisper it to her, like and it just I don't blame him at all.
Nope. He gave her the moment, and like she didn't come up with it, and I won't lie, like mental math with a time crunch and somebody else doing the same equation sitting across from you. Fuck no.
Not my
with
thing.
no hardly any food, sleep deprived, date. No.
I can't do that like in an ideal setting.
I couldn't do it while I was watching it.
I just thought it was pretty cool that it was a Lady of Leisure's moment to where Derek tried to give her the opportunity to we've been writing this whole freaking season. I got you. I gave you a minute, but here we go. But he still gave his ride or die, in a sense, an opportunity to do her thing. And I like to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was nice of him. And he gave her, 2 or 3 seconds. And after that, he has to play his game. But there was something kind of funny that I realized. Did you guys think about how TJ got back and forth from the Sinister to the sandbar?
Jet ski?
Yes, I'm wondering.
Probably on like a little jet ski or a speedboat or something. And I can just picture TJ just going by as Kylan
laughing,
swimming back.
Man,
like talking shit.
Like he was on the ATV?
Hold up.
Exactly.
I didn't tell you this when we were watching it, but when Kylan was like leaving and they're like, bye, Kylan, didn't he kind of seem like a little kid that you tell to go to bed? And he didn't want to go to bed? Like, he's like, I really don't want to do this, guy.
You can go now. And he's like, and you hear the Charlie Brown music?
So the way this checkpoint falls out is surprisingly, Jordan and Jenny get first. Derek and Michelle get second. Michelle's the last woman to leave and passes them all.
Yes,
awesome.
Queen.
And Rachel didn't even notice until after the fact.
I think Jenny was already back before Michelle left. But the fact that she left last and she passed Rachel, passed Tori, passed Kylan, like that's fucking awesome, dude.
She didn't pass Kylan. Kylan was the last one to leave.
Technically, she passed Kylan because he was still going that way.
Yeah. So
Tori said something about bananas too. She was like, or Kylan, she was like, Bananas is going to be on that island all night because that's how long it's going to take Kylan to get back or something.
I hate to say it, but this was one that was the nail in Tori's coffin right here. Like this one really hurt.
This one was This one was,
But Michelle's fucking fighting back. Like she's solidifying that second spot with this finish. And we have one final checkpoint to go, which is Champions Cove, which they could have just called this whole episode that. I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, no, they could have done because they could have made it more piratey themed than they actually did, because they did have the Sinister. They had the buried treasure, the skeleton.
Yeah. They could have made this
you
work.
know what? It made me think of that Gold Diggers movie with Christina Ricci and the girl from My Girl. Do you guys remember that movie? Am I aging myself?
I don't remember it. Sorry.
I do know which one you're talking about.
It was so good.
So with this one, this is kind of like an interesting twist on what they've already been doing in Champions Cove. They have to swim to this little buoy setup, and they have to get on these water scooters that will basically kind of just jet them along through this.
They looked like so much fun.
I bet they were.
It looked like a blast.
Yeah.
Way more fun than the petty bike in Michigan.
Oh my God. I had fun on that bike. I had a grand old time.
You guys were watching Chippendale. Me and Sam were watching Death.
That's true.
Yeah. They have to go into a cove, find a token, ride the jet ski back or the little scooter. Look, here's what I'm going to say, and this is the only time I'm really going to say something where I'm kind of talking shit on Rachel, is where she's like, all the women beat the guys in this one. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, well, I hate to tell you this, Rachel. It's because all the women are lighter, and that equals faster than the men.
Can I just say though, yes, 100%. But at the same time, why does Jordan look like he literally does this every single day?
He does.
Because he does.
Not even
He's
surprised.
good at everything.
Batman.
He would
I'm convinced.
He looked like a
is.
fucking natural on that little water scooter thing. Like, how did you even know how to? I would have been Jenny. Like, how the fuck do I even use this thing?
Yeah.
Like, how make it go? Is there another gear? Like, what's wrong with me?
Help me.
Why are they going and I am not? And Jordan, he's just over here going underwater with it. He's fucking doing flips.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised he didn't fucking jump out like a dolphin. Like, it just.
When Banana said, "Oh, this must be what it's like to swim like Jordan."
And then they gave Jordan one of those. So then, now you just got no chance of catching him.
So the way this one breaks down,
It's Jordan. Sorry. Oh, do you have for this one?
I have it. Yeah,
Oh,
Tony
okay.
sends picture, and
Oh, there
thank
you
you,
go.
stats and info.
Perfect.
Jordan, Michelle get first. Michelle fighting.
Yes.
She's got a chance. She's got a punch in her scan.
She got first place in this. She did awesome, because even when she got to the cove, she literally just swam in, went right underwater, grabbed her thing and turned around and went right back out. Had no issues. Everybody else is looking everywhere. Where is it? What is it? What are we doing?
So quick.
She was in and out. Bye.
It's all that idol searching on fucking Survivor is what it was.
There you go.
Bananas and Rachel get second. Derek and Tori get third, and then Kyland and Jenny get fourth. And this is where I was like, oh shit, Michelle's got a chance. And then we find out about the karma points.
Yeah. DJ announces that they're worth 2 checkpoints.
Bullshit.
So you're telling me that a popularity vote is now worth 25% of the final?
Yeah. I just
Stupid.
I don't like that it was said at the very end. Why weren't we told that? Why wasn't everybody told that at the beginning?
And it was a voiceover when we were told.
Well, in the beginning, I thought it was told where the karma points will be added up, and whoever had the most would be added to their total. I thought it was going to be the total amounts, and you would actually see how many karma points each person got up. I didn't know it was going to be until we saw them go the 1 through 5, and then not be able to see who did what. And then, yeah.
Well, and look, I appreciate the little montage they gave us. We got some funny moments. My personal favorite was Cara giving Bananas a 1 on behalf of Sarah.
Mine too.
Just claps, snaps, everything all around for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we only saw 7 to 10 votes per finalist. There should be 32 votes. So I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, at least we saw a majority of the karma votes. No, you didn't.
No, we didn't.
You didn't even see half
Where was Brad? Where was Theo? I didn't see them on there.
Theo gave Jenny points, and
Oh, he
Brad
did?
gave
Gave
Derek
Rachel.
points.
Oh,
Rachel.
okay. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean, we
feel-
saw a few for each person. There was
everyone got a turn.
once again a lot of ambiguity, and it goes back to what we said last week. That's why we're kind of against this, is the ambiguity of this whole fucking thing, and there's no honesty behind it. Look, my biggest point. Well, actually, let's just. I'll tell who wins this. We'll get into the winner, and then we're going to get into the bigger subject.
Yeah.
So the way the karma points break down, they're worth 2 checkpoints, and the way the checkpoints are scored is if you get first place, you get 4 points, second, third, and so on and so forth. So worth 2 checkpoints. Derek wins the karma points for the guys, so he gets 8.
Mm-hmm.
Kylan gets 6. Jordan gets 4. Bananas gets 2. So it doesn't have any effect. Obviously, Jordan is your male winner.
Woo! Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Precisely how
By
it should happen.
4 points over Derek.
Really by
3 or
8,
4?
but
Oh,
yeah.
I got you.
I also just want to say, like, when you win so much on a season that you forget how many times you've won on that season.
Yeah.
Because Jordan, you didn't win 6, you've won 7. Okay, you won 7 dailies that season. Okay, when like that's crazy to me. Like to win so many dailies in one season that you forgot how many dailies you won that season. That says a lot, and the fact that he lost 1 checkpoint in the final, 1, and it. The counting thing, the overnight counting thing.
Look, Jordan said, I want to make the karma points a non-factor. And that's exactly what he fucking did.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, he could have gotten the least amount of points on this and still won.
Yeah.
He still would have won by 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So he did exactly what he set out to be.
Yep.
I do like the fact that they played no role in the men's elimination, strictly based on performance. Which it should be.
How it should have been.
On the women, though, it's a totally different story. So if we're going based on performance only, your winner's Jenny with 22 points. Michelle would be in second with 19. Rachel would be in third with 16. And Tori in fourth with 13. But because of the karma points, we have a tie for the lead. On a show that doesn't let you have ties for dailies or eliminations, we have a fucking tie for the season 40 final.
I don't understand.
I literally have no fucking words for this. Like,
why would they not do a tiebreaker?
Why is there not a tiebreaker?
It could have been an eating challenge.
Literally put them back in the water and tell them to swim there and back. First one back wins.
Or break down a time, like who got a quicker time on one of, I don't fucking know.
Do a math off.
Who had
math off.
Who had the most first place finishes? Like, and you could even count the fucking season into that if you wanted to, try to, whatever. Like, just, I don't understand how we had so many tiebreakers throughout the season because we can't have a tie, but in the final, for the 40th season and all season, it's been one man and one woman are going to win $400,000 and blah, 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 blah. And you fucking let it end in a tie based off popularity votes?
Yeah.
Are you fucking, is this a joke? Am I being punked?
And
Where's Ashton? Like, for real, because what the fuck is this?
I'm going to lead you into what you told me, which is the reason I gave this show such a fucking low grade is because it changed a core structure of what makes the challenge the challenge.
Look, I'm just going to say that I'm going to preface this by saying that this is nothing against the other shows, but the challenge has always stood apart from other reality competition shows like Big Brother and Survivor because it wasn't based off popularity. It was based off whether or not you could perform. You always had a chance to save yourself. You have to be eliminated, not voted off, right? You win the season by competing. You don't win it by people voting for you, okay? What they did here is they took what made the challenge special and different and they made it into another fucking CBS show, just like Big Brother, just like Survivor, just like Love Island, like all the other ones. They took away the uniqueness of the challenge and what made the challenge. Like,
I would have, to me, it makes it no longer the challenge. It's not special now. And I don't like that, because at the end of the day, this show is supposed to be about how well can you perform. And it's not like how great of an athlete you are. That's not what this show's ever been based on. It's who can perform when they have to. Who can win the elimination? Who can win the daily? Who can win the final?
Well, yeah.
Who has the most heart?
Yeah.
And I also want to add in that, yes, I will acknowledge that politics and friendships and, all those things have always been a factor, and they will always be a factor in the game, right? Getting to the final. Mm-hmm. But never has it been a factor in this way. Like, first of all, if you were really set on doing these karma points, why could it not be ran like All Stars 4, where if you had the most karma points, you got some sort of advantage, whether it was, you only your bag of coins was only half full, or you got to skip the singing portion, or you
didn't have to swim as far. You had a different spot to start.
Maybe you got to catch a ride from the beach to the boat so you could skip one of the swims. Maybe, you got a little mattress you could sleep on once you were done counting and singing and what.
Or a meal.
A billion different things that they could have done to give an advantage to the people who had the better karma in the final without actually making it a legitimate popularity vote that determines the winner of the season. And the other thing, I'm sorry, just really quick, I have to finish this thought or I'm going to lose it.
Go.
So I will acknowledge, like I said, I will acknowledge politics and social game and all of that is a huge part of the game, has never been part of the final. But what I find funny is that there are people in the fandom who are okay with what happened. And their excuse right now is, well, Rachel played the game. She had good, social, blah, 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 blah. But these are the same exact people that for the last few seasons have been whining and bitching and complaining nonstop because Michelle is just a social player and social stuff doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter in the challenge. Weird how that story has changed now. Now that it's one of the OGs that is literally standing on the champions podium based off social game and politics and fucking popularity votes.
Not even like politics and how popular you are. It comes down to, and I said this to Josh before we started recording, it's a matter of you've got somebody who's been on the show basically since the beginning, knows everyone, has interactions with almost everyone, and whose era was completely decimated and gave full points, versus somebody who's been on for the last 4 or 5 seasons, doesn't know most of the people in era 1, era 2, and is expected to then have them give her a score out of 5 based on when they were in the game, when they haven't been in the game for half the season. And you also have people like Amanda, who didn't even make it into the season, who are awarding points.
Yeah.
There's so many issues with how it was run. And to your point, I think I talked to Brittany about it, and I think you talked to Brittany prior to me talking to her about it. Mm-hmm. But even if they had something where it was a luxury list, a menu of whatever, and the amount of karma points that you got was the actual amount of whatever you want to say, challenge bucks or whatever. And you could get a pillow or a mattress or whatever. And as the game went on, those prices got more. They got higher. And so the people who had more of your karma votes, they had more money to play with. They were able to give themselves more advantages. That's fine. That gives you an advantage in the game.
Yeah,
that lets you plan, because you can be very intentional about how you do that. You can either save your money and use it when it's more expensive, when you'll need it more, when other people can't afford it, or you knock off all kinds of advantages early on and hope that that's enough to see you through. but none of that is going to change the outcome of the game unless it changes the outcome of the game organically.
Right.
I don't even think we have to do all that. I just think
I don't either. That's me rationalizing.
Yeah, I think all you have to do is say, hey, guess what? Derek, you got the most fucking karma points, so you get a 4-minute lead to this final checkpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Literally,
yeah,
like I said, there's a billion things that they could have done for this, and just kind of bouncing off of what you were talking about with the karma, the karma points, Tony, is, you know, on the flip side of all of that, not only does Rachel know these people and have good relationships with them and have known them forever, she hasn't been on in a really long time. So she only really has these interactions and all of this stuff either way long ago in her past or personal interactions from like challengers that she trains with or whatever. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have the negative she doesn't have like the
recency
enemies,
bias,
like people that she has done wrong in the last few seasons that are casted with her here. Like all of the people that she's ever like quote unquote done wrong in her challenge career were on her fucking era, were on her team, and were all eliminated before she ever, you know what I mean? And the rest of them, like it was so fucking long ago, like Bananas doesn't even fucking remember playing with her. You know what I mean? So it's just like, to me, the karma points from the get were an advantage solely for Era 1 and some of Era 2, who hasn't returned in a long time. It was never really going to benefit Era 3 and Era 4. And like I've said to many people out there, and I'll say it here on the podcast, if anyone is looking at these karma votes, these karma points, and thinking, oh yeah, they're awarding these points based off of how they were treated this season and how the game was played this season like they're supposed to, you're not fucking paying attention.
No,
they're not.
No, it's a popularity contest.
Like, what did I say? Brandon gave Michelle a 1 only because she won Survivor.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
The only person who was probably accurate was Derek. And the numbers probably weren't right, but...
Well, and the people, like, I've seen so many fans like, oh, well, you know, if people wanted higher karma points, they should have treated people better. TJ told them about it at the beginning of the season. And it's like, how people treated each other this season was never going to matter for the karma points.
So
ever.
This brings me to another subject, which goes larger than that. Does this set a precedent for future seasons for people to take this into account? And all of a sudden we start losing backstabbing. We start losing double crosses.
Because they're scared of karma points.
I hope not.
And they just neuter themselves.
They better look at social media and be like, oh, we really fucked up on the karma points. Let's not do them again. Because if they do them again,
right.
I mean, you're going to lose people. People are going to be like, oh, karma points? I'll wait for All-Stars.
Here's the thing, too. If you're going to do that, do it based on, like, what the outcome was, like what the final was. Do it so that the people who are giving karma points have some bearing on what actually happened this season after they left. Because you've got, for example, you've got Polly, who gave, if memory serves, Michelle a 1 and Tori a 1.
Yeah.
And Cara, by the time that she left, was friends with both of them. So I don't really think that Polly is going to give them a 1 and a 1 when they were protecting Cara and playing with Cara.
Yeah,
exactly.
Especially because Polly and Tori have been friends since USA 2. Was that the one they were on together?
He said because she just won.
Like they've been friends since USA 2, and I have a very good feeling that's why Paulie gave them 1s, right? Because he was just trying to fucking up Cara and whoever was working with her at the time when he left, and it was not Tori and Michelle, you know? So it's like, it's just, these karma points were just fucking stupid. But going back to your point, I do think that, you know, this is going to be one of those things that we're going to see future seasons affected by this. To me, we're going to see a similar effect that we saw after the skulls were first introduced, where the following seasons, you know, we lost that fight to avoid an elimination. It just became like, yeah, all right, I'll go in, because they thought they had to, like they're, you know what I mean? So now I feel like we're going to see less backstabs. We're going to see less shit talking. We're going to see less, like
People
whatever.
Volunteering more to go and do the elimination.
Yeah, like it's just going to turn the game friendly. And it's already too friendly. God.
You touched on something really interesting too, Corrina, that I hadn't thought of or hadn't fully thought of. The people who are voted out, when they're voted out early, they're going to try to up their alliance members and downplay the other people.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that those people are going to make the final. So the karma points aren't even accurate to that extent.
No.
Because if my alliance is Rick and Josh, and I'm giving them 5s and I'm giving Alexis and Katie 1s, but then Alexis and Katie are the 2 that are in the final and these 2 aren't even there, then it completely fucks them over for no reason whatsoever. It has no bearing on their game. All it was is based on when I left the game, that's who I thought was going to be the biggest competition for my alliance.
Exactly.
That's not popularity. That's not karma. That's just really bad fucking accounting.
Like, honestly, at that point, why don't they just fucking right before the final, just fucking open it? You want to do karma votes, open it up to the fans. It's the same fucking thing because the challengers are going to vote the same way that fans would vote based on who they like the most, not based on who plays the best game, not based on who fucked them over or who didn't this season. I mean, you heard Amanda, like Tori fucking, like it just, I don't even, it's whatever. But none of these fucking karma points were given based on how people played the season.
This game. Yeah.
So with that being said, I do want to bring something up because you talked about it earlier and I know you wanted to talk about more in depth.
Yeah.
About how Kara gave out her karma points.
Like a boss.
Yeah.
Honestly,
one of my favorite parts of this episode, to be honest.
It really was because I think it was last episode. Rick and I were talking about it, and I think he had just asked me. He was like, "What do you think Kara gave Tori, or like whatever, something like that?" And I was like, honestly, I think Kara probably gave her like a 3. I know she gave Michelle a 5. I know she gave Rachel a 5.
Derek
I feel,
a 5.
but I know, but I was just talking about the girls.
Sorry.
I'm not going through them all. But I felt like, she might give Tori a 3 because like, yeah, we made up, but like we didn't work together the whole season. So let me give a little bit of an advantage to the people that like I truly worked with like the whole time. Right. That was where my thought was. And I was like, I would totally not even be mad at Kara for that. And then the scene came on when she gave Tori a 5 and I was just like, they love each other.
It's so sweet.
Finally.
No, it was a really cool scene. And yeah, I mean, Kara's comment, her going back and getting a little bit of, taking a little stab there on behalf of Sarah Rice was hilarious.
Loved it.
That was awesome. So,
my Sarah looked at me. She's like, "So do you like Kara even more now?" And I was like, "I didn't know it was possible, but yes."
Leroy giving bananas a 1.
I know.
I was like,
he was like, "You're my
what?
boy, but you don't need to win again."
Yeah.
Do you think he's out of Bananas Angels now?
I know. He got kicked out.
I think Laurel is.
Laurel, yeah, but probably not Leroy.
Dude, Laurel, man, her karma.
She was savage.
Yeah, she was.
She gave Jordan his points, so
She did. Well, of course she gave Jordan.
I know.
That's not shocking.
Look,
Sorry, really quick.
yeah, because I'm gonna start wrapping.
I know you're going to start. One last thing that I wanted to discuss. Actually, it's kind of 2 things, but one thing that I wanted to discuss before we start closing out this final recap for season 40. Number 1, massive props to, like you said earlier, to Michelle for not freaking out, not having a Michelle down, but also massive props to Kyland because he saw that there was no hope for him to win this, and not fucking once did he even talk about quitting.
Nope.
He pushed through.
Never.
He did it. He completed the task. He completed he just massive props to Kyland for that.
Yeah.
And there was something that Kyland said this episode that I want to read off because I think that this is probably like my line of the season. And this is why I love Kyland. And this is why we call Kyland Goku. So Kyland says after the final standings are read by TJ for the winners, Kyland gets a confessional and says, "I'm really glad I didn't take 3rd away from Bananas just because people don't like him. I didn't come for them to hand the torch off to me. I came to take it from them. And I was like,
love it.
Yes.
Fire emoji.
Yes.
Fire emoji. You go get him, Goku. You will fucking do it. I have faith. That man will win a final one day as long as it's not literally all season, all swimming,
Yes.
you know?
He also had another quote earlier that I forgot to bring up, and he just said, there's no training that constitutes experience.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Like, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, I think I also read somewhere or heard somewhere that when he was actually training for this season and he was doing the swimming portion and like training himself for swimming, he didn't train himself for distance because historically
they don't do that.
The challenge and the final is not based around distance.
Where'd you hear that, Tony?
From a very reliable source, Katie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
you
did.
You didn't listen to someone's podcast?
No, I definitely didn't.
I was like, what? Because that's where he said it.
No. I either heard it from you or I heard it from the Brain Candy folks.
Oh, okay. Probably them.
Yeah.
I have two final questions, and then we're gonna close this show out and get the show going. First one is Jordan has now won his 5th final, 5 championships. He's won 2 individuals, a partner, a team, and then 2 partners in a team. Sorry, because Kaz and
oh yeah,
and then Dirty 30 this one, and then
so 2 individual, 2 partners,
and 1 team. In 10 seasons, is Jordan now the greatest of all time?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're done here. Good night.
Josh, what do you say?
I was waiting for you all to say be done, but absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
you just, I don't know. Look,
the numbers say it all.
I know the banana stands are still going to argue. Banana's got 7. Okay, I know that. But it also took him 22 seasons. You know what I mean? Like, so the win percentage and the fact that Jordan has done this, but with 1 fucking hand and literally 0 conspiracies, questionable wins. Nothing about Jordan's wins have ever been questionable, have never been like, because we got the whole Rivals 3 issue with bananas, and we have, the whole questionable shit on, free agents and what happened in that final puzzle between bananas and CT. And you know what I mean? Like there's so many little things that, kind of stain a little bit of bananas history. But Jordan doesn't have any of that. You know what I mean? So like for me, it's easy for me to say, yes, Jordan is the GOAT. Like, and I say that as, like CT, I love him. He's but Jordan is just, I don't know, man. He's something fucking else.
Man, if Marlon would have won that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
So Alexis, what I was asking is, with this one, is Jordan the GOAT now?
I knew that question was coming. Like, as it was happening on my television, I was like, well, we're going to talk about it. I mean, honestly, yes. I mean, that's all we were waiting for is one more, right? And then we were all...
That's what I was waiting for.
And you're right. Like, he's got some clean wins, too.
Look, I think you start looking at these percentages when I've talked to people and, when they bring up the bananas comparison, 10 seasons, 7 finals. So he's a 70% finals appearance rating.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
That's good.
Yeah.
Out of 7 finals, he's won 5.
That's crazy.
That is fucking nuts. So based on that math, if he did as many seasons as bananas, he would have probably 11 wins.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the
At
level.
the rate he's going. Yeah.
That's how he's going. And he's probably got another 5 to 6 years of really in good shape,
He told them to call him for 50. He's ready.
Yeah.
He's going to win 30, 40, 50. He's ready.
That's funny.
Well, and I thought that was wild. Like, how like Derek has been in every main one, 10, 20, 30, 40. and Jordan's won 30 and 40, the two big ones lately.
Yeah.
I don't think Wes has ever been in one. I don't think he was in 10. I don't think he was in 20. He wasn't in 30 and he wasn't in 40. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Second question. Is Jenny in your top 4 now?
Ooh.
So I have the stats if anybody would like them.
Absolutely. Stats and info.
So I'm going to compare Jenny to Emily.
Yep.
For the purpose of this. So Emily has 4 seasons. She has 3 finals. She has 1 win. Of those finals, Cutthroat was team, Battle of the X's was partner, Rivals was partner, which she won. Or Rivals 2, rather. She has won 9 dailies, and she has gone into 6 eliminations with 5 wins and 1 loss.
Which was this season, yeah.
Yeah. So she got home ran out by Tina.
Right.
With the hammer thing.
Oh.
So then Jenny has been on 3 seasons. She has been to 2 finals, and she has won them both, and she has beat Bananas in both. She has 11 daily wins.
He's got to slip
that one right.
That was gold.
Yeah.
She also has 6 eliminations, 5 wins, 1 loss.
Ooh. Okay.
Dang.
To me, Jenny has taken Emily's spot in the top 4.
Oh.
And I think Rachel's moved up to the top 4 too, even though this wasn't.
I refuse to do that right now.
Not ready.
Look, at the end of the day, as much as I don't like it,
yeah, but
I'm not gonna punish her because she played the game in front of her. This is production's issue. This isn't Rachel's issue.
Yeah,
she's got the W. We can put a little asterisk there.
No, here's the issue.
She still won.
Here's the issue with your argument with this. If you're going just based off numbers, then you just erased our entire fucking conversation.
I didn't.
Yes, you did, because then Bananas is the GOAT.
No.
Because he has the wins.
9 seasons.
He has the wins.
9 seasons. 3 wins.
How many has Rachel done?
9 seasons. 3 wins.
Okay. So then let's do that for Jenny.
She's done 3 seasons, 2 wins.
So you got somebody at 66% and somebody at 33%.
I'm not saying that Rachel's the
disagree.
GOAT or
I
Jenny's
disagree.
the GOAT. I have Jenny in my top 4.
I have Tori above Rachel.
That's fine.
So
That's your list. I'm saying for me, Rachel is made that top 4.
if it was me, I would make Rachel and Jenny share a spot on my Mount Rushmore.
They each get half a face.
The female side has 5 spots now.
Well, they did put that on the TV.
No, they just share a face because they got to split it 50-50. So they get 1 face, but each of them is half.
I would say that Jenny is definitely up there for me. I'm not sold on Rachel as you are, but that is why you have a Mount Rushmore and I have a different one because I'm Canadian. And I have a British person on mine. So, but yeah, Rachel, I would not put on mine. I understand that based on the karma points that she has come out on top in this season. However, if I'm looking at the actual gameplay, I'm ranking Michelle's gameplay higher than hers for this season.
I would
much
say
like the karma points don't matter. I don't think that the position on the podium matters.
In the final, I absolutely agree. In the season, I'd say they're about equal. Michelle had 1 more elimination win, and I think Rachel had a couple more dailies.
So that's why. Then that's what I'm saying is like in the game, they both navigated in like a fairly parallel fashion.
Yeah.
They both made it to the final. But then looking at the final, I rank Michelle's game higher than I rank Rachel's game. Period.
And I agree. I won't disagree with that because look, at the end of the day, numbers don't lie, right? Like Michelle's performance in the final was better than Rachel's, just based on how she finished. To me, Rachel would have moved up, not maybe necessarily in my top 4, regardless, because you just went 23 seasons pretty much with 1 warm-up on All-Stars 4, right back into the flagship and made the final. And you had a pretty good season. You had 2 elimination wins. You had a few daily wins. Like, that's fucking fairly impressive after 23 seasons. And we already had you on the pillars, you know, so that already means you're one of the best. So that's why she played the game in front of her. The way the game was formatted, she won based on production's decision. So to me, that's why I have her up there.
Yeah, and that's like, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't include Survivor, much like Chris Underwood's game, where a lot of people discredit it because it was Edge of Extinction. He was technically voted out and came back. He still won. He got the votes. He did everything he needed to do to win the game. He played the game that was in front of him. So while I obviously acknowledge that Rachel, based on the points, is sharing first with Jenny, I still say that Michelle came second.
Okay. This is my final question, unless anybody has anything they want to add to this discussion. Okay. Final question. And I feel like this is how we're going to wrap it up, unless anybody has anything else they want to bring up before we start closing this show down, because I know we're hitting about the 90-minute mark right now. What grade do you give this season as a whole?
I'm going to give it an overall a C, only because of the so many mistakes that affected people that still could have been in the game, that still could have made the final. However, as the season played out, I got to see the OG. We got to see the nostalgia. So I'll bump it up to a C+.
Okay, I like that. What do you got, babe?
I'm just giving it a C. There's too much shady things that happened this season, too many questionable things from literal episode 1 all the way through the final. And it's just, for me, they majorly dropped the ball. And if I didn't love this fucking show so much, I honestly would probably give it lower than a C. Like, to me, the fucking karma points absolutely ruined this. All the questionable shit with all the eliminations, the fucking puzzles getting called wrong, and or bad editing. We'll just stick with that fucking storyline, I guess, because that's what we're being fed. I'm sorry, but no, I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. As an editor, I don't buy it, dude. I don't buy the bad edit. Whoopsie, I don't buy it.
So should I tell my boss?
Yeah, oops. No, I don't buy it. So yeah, no, I'm not, I'm just, you know, I'm very disappointed, with the production side of the season. That being said, I would give a fucking A+ to the casting, like the cast, the, you know, the drama. It got a little dry after a while because it kind of stayed the same, but it was nice to see like Tori have this whole new approach to her game and fucking go after Bananas. And it was nice to see Bananas be a little bit uncomfortable and also have to find new ways to work through the game. Like, it was just that part of it I really enjoyed, but like all the weird, it really tainted the season for me. I don't know.
I agree. Tony, what do you got?
I'm kind of hive-minding with Corrina on this. I've got a C overall just because of all the hinky shit. There are people, like the fact that you can take somebody like Horacio, who is like an amazing competitor in this game, and before the season even aired, basically, he said that this was his last season.
Yeah.
Like, and then to have just constant things throughout, but I can't discredit the cast. It's honestly, it's like my favorite Kara season. It's my favorite Corey season.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Tori season, Michelle season. Like, so many of my favorite challengers played such a fucking amazing game this season.
We
like
had this.
Derek, like Ryan, like everything. I cannot discredit the game that they played for the way that it was handled after the game was over.
Right.
Like, that I can't discredit them for. So as a whole, as a season, as a viewer, I give it about a C. But as like a fan of these people and watching them navigate the game in a new way, I give it an A+.
I like it. Alexis, what do you give it?
Well, I feel like all season when we were doing our grades, we kept saying B-, B-, B-. But like, I don't think I can give it a B-. That's just a little bit too high because there were so many things that just like kept knocking it down a little bit, knocking it down. But I feel like every season I start going into it wanting it to be an A, and then it just goes lower from there. So I'm probably going to have to stop at a C too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think there's a reoccurring theme here. Katie,
Yeah.
what do you got?
I feel like I'm just going to regurgitate everything everyone's already said.
Open C.
It's an open C. It's a wide open C.
My favorite kind.
It just, oh no.
I'm going to come up and just,
Oh my gosh.
But no, I don't have anything else to say other than what you guys have already said. Like,
yeah.
Just same.
So here's my thing. I've said it for a long time. I know Corrina will agree with me on this. Production's its own worst enemy. If it wasn't for production, this show had the framework, the gameplay, the casting to be an A+.
Right.
It was set up to be one of the top 3 or 4 seasons of all time. It right up there with Free Agents, Rivals 2, Dirty 30. It was up there. It was up there.
It should have. I would love them to just give us the footage and we can just edit it ourselves, and then just show them what it could have been.
So I'm really high-minding with Tony on this. Like, it should have been an A+.
Yeah.
An A+. It should have been. But unfortunately, I'll give it a little bit more benefit of the doubt than you guys. I'll give it a B- because production and the karma points kind of screwed the season for me as a viewer. That's no shade to any of the players. I said, this is strictly my view on the way productions handled it. And when one of the winners of your season has said repeatedly that there was issues that were not addressed and he wants them to do better, and that's why he's constantly talking about this, I think that says a lot. Production needs to step the game up. After 40 seasons, it's unacceptable to get away with some of the things that you try to get away with this. Plain and simple.
Well, and the last thing that I want to point out is he spoke out a lot this season, and probably about things that he wasn't supposed to be speaking out about. Jordan risked his fucking paycheck, because for anybody that doesn't know, they don't actually get their checks until after the entire season is aired. So the season has to air and all of that, because if they break any of the rules, production will snatch that shit right away. You lose it, or you get a fine, or like whatever, right? It depends on the severity of what you do. However, I would imagine that putting out videos publicly accusing production of mishandling eliminations and wrongly eliminating people
dailies
and calling dailies incorrect and all of these things would be something that would make production say, that's our check now, and fuck you, you're never coming back. So Jordan risked a lot to speak out this season, and I think that people should keep that in mind, that I don't think Jordan would just make shit up knowing that he could potentially lose that.
What's the point?
You know what I mean?
Like, what would the point of that
Especially knowing that he could potentially lose that check, So I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out to people, and that people keep that in mind when they are reflecting back on the things that Jordan has said about this season. And yeah, I mean, the only other thought that I had is kind of like you were saying, Alexis, like you go into every season like hoping it's going to be an A, like, oh, this is going to be a great season. I'm going into All Stars 5 expecting it to be absolute shit.
I'm expecting.
Let's just hope we're going to plan that it's going to be an F. It's going to be garbage. We're going to hate it.
I'm going in. It's a C. It's going to end up being a C-. Kind of like how our episodes turn out here at the Challenge Fandom Podcast.
Now, please don't rate our episodes, okay? Rate the challenges episode. No,
there's no karma points over here. So
no.
With that being said, we don't have to talk about karma points anymore, because that's a wrap on season 40 for us, guys. We will not be recapping the reunion because there's no point. With that being said, if you want some additional content outside of this episode and our next couple Challengers Unplugged interviews, like I said, with Corey Warden, we've got a few more coming up. I don't want to spoil it and say too soon who it is. But we've got some finalists that are coming in to talk to us about this season. So for myself, Ricky Hayes, my beautiful wife, Corrina Hayes, for Alexis, Tex, Rawson, Josh motherfucking Chambers, Katie, Bad Blood Pahura, and Tony Stats and Info Lance. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and gutting out this season with us. But that's it for us, folks. Season 40. Peace, motherfucker. Love y'all. Be good to meet you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.